When you introduce a story, you always want to give the title of the book. And I would say, boys and girls, today we're going to read a story called We Go Out. You give the title, and then you give a little synopsis of the story. I want to make sure I'm doing the right thing here. Okay. In this story, boys and girls, you're going to read about different places that we all go, different places we go. And sometimes you go with your friends or your mom or your dad. But it's about places where we go. And I'm using that language on purpose. Because in this story, all of the sentences start with we go. Oops. Okay. So I'm going to pull it up here. I think it's a little bit easier. So boys and girls, today we're going to read the story called We Go Out. And it's about different places that we go. So let's take a picture walk. Point number 3, I'm going to take a picture walk. I'm going to tell the title. I'm going to give a synopsis. Now we're going to take a picture walk. So boys and girls, let's just look at the pictures. Where do we go here? What do you think this is? What's this called? They might say a bookstore or Barnes & Noble. It's a library. Okay, that's what the word's going to say here. I don't really care. I don't really care if they say we go to the Barnes & Noble. I don't really care at this point. All I'm worried about at level A is that they have 1, 2, 1. And of course, if they said Barnes & Noble, it wouldn't be 1-to-1 because there's no words there. And we'll talk about that more, what you expect at a level A, a level B. I have a sheet for that so you can look at and see what teaching points you might have at those different, when you're instructing at those different levels. So here we go, picture walk. Where do we go here, boys and girls? The library. Yeah, we go to the library. What's this place called that we go to sometimes and it has slides and it's green? The park. Yeah, we go to the park. Where are they now, boys and girls? Oh, they're swimming. Yep, you could say we go swimming, or you could say we go to the pool. So accept their answers. If they don't say exactly what's on here, that's okay. We don't want them to read. For some kids, I might even cover this because they might be trying to decode it, and I don't want them to. I only want them to look at the picture right now. We want them to use pictures in the beginning levels of reading. The reason is the most important thing they can do is derive meaning and understand that what they read has to make sense. Okay? So you'll have kids who might be able to read this book, but don't know these words. They don't really know those words. But they can read this book because of my introduction and the picture. Parents freak out sometimes. My kid's always looking at the picture. I want to cover the picture. No, you don't. Because what you're doing right now is you're teaching their brain that this over here is going to make sense with this over here. Okay? And they have that little link, that little scaffold then. So I go through it very quickly. Okay, so I'm going to start over and pretend like I'm doing this from the beginning. Boys and girls, today we're going to read a story called We Go Out. Can you touch and read that title with me? Everybody touch and read. We Go Out. Oh, I like the way Amber pointed at those words at that title when she read them. So boys and girls, where are we going today? Boys and girls here, library. Good job, they're at the library. Where else can we go? To the park. Awesome, we go to the park. We go to swim. We go to the pool. Where are they here? Oh, they're at a soccer game, right? We go to a soccer game. So I will go through each one of these pictures with them. Who knows what this is called? Have any of you ever been to Florida? Yeah, it's called a beach. Oh, and we can go to the farm. So I will let them put the words in. Boys and girls, where do we go now? And of course, they're saying it before you can even get the words out of your mouth. The park, the farm, Susan Park. They're saying something. Okay? Mm-hmm.
So if they say the wrong word, do we correct them? Like if they said Barnes & Noble, would we say, well, they're at the library?
Well, you could say, oh my gosh, yeah, that does look like Barnes & Noble. Yeah, sometimes we call it a library. I don't have to say, oh no, look, 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 it says library. I don't want them to look, look, look. All I want them to do at level 1A is make this make sense. That's all I want them to do. Okay? Right now, we're talking more about the teaching piece and how you're thinking when I answer those kinds of questions. And right now, I'm trying to show you just, the procedures I had up here. Here's what you do first, running record. Here's what you do next, introduce the story. Okay? So you do a picture walk through the whole book, and then you go back and say, all right, boys and girls, I'm going to ask you to use your whisper voices as you read. We go out. Point to the title and read it. We go out. Okay, think about where we go when you're reading. Boy, what a great scaffold. You've just scaffolded them to know we go. And hopefully they know that little word too, and they know the little word the. They look at the picture and they say bookstore, or they say library, or they say Barnes and Noble. Okay? All I'm worried about at level A, and this sheet will tell you that, all I'm worried about is that what they said made sense. If they say, we go to the dishwasher, that's an issue, okay, because they're not paying attention to the meaning, all right? I'm looking for one-to-one. We go to the park. And so after I introduce the book, I'm going to walk around and say, oh, can you read this page for me? Point and read. And so she's going to whisper and she's going to read. Awesome job. I like the way you pointed to each word. And then I'm going to come over here to Leslie and I'm going to say, Leslie, start reading wherever you're at. Point for me. So she's going to point and she's going to read. Okay? And I'm going to compliment her on something she does, or I'm going to say, oh, try that again. Or if she says, we go to Barnes and Noble, I might put my finger down and say, hop on. And I'll say, read this with me. We go to the, she's going to say Barnes & Noble, I'm going to say library. Let's read that again. We go to the library. Just so she gets the one-on-one, not so that she reads library instead of Barnes & Noble. Hop on, yeah. Something new, okay, good. So your job in this 5 to 7 minutes, after you've taken the running record, after you've introduced the book, now you're walking around very quickly, one little teaching point or one little compliment as the kiddos are reading, okay?